Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it rolling.
Yes.
So, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Irina and I'm an artist. And when I was 3 years old, what I started to do, I started to paint the walls. Because for me, they were like a canvases. Because I didn't know about any techniques, I didn't know about anything about how to do art. I just started doing art on the walls. Wherever I was crawling under the table, I was doing art on the walls, and I kind of like extending that space through the wall with the art. Well, I've been raised in Russia, and every student in high school was actually supposed to make up their minds in order to know who are they going to be. So for me, it was so obvious, I didn't even really think about it. I knew that what I'm going to do. I want to be self-sufficient in my art. What does it mean to be self-sufficient in your life? I mean, not to depend on anything. I don't need a model, but also at the same time to go further and higher, a deeper level. So, and it's happened. I remember that moment was so beautiful. I said, that's it, I'm cutting off, I'm going on my own. So then, I think my inside was ready, and the universe was kind of ready for that exception of my art, particularly. So then I just cut it off, and then I would go just, okay, I said, well, I'm now on my own, and the universe, can I make it? Can I do it? And something inside always talks to you, and I heard inside of me, yes, you can do it. There is so much about spirituality of the colors, of the line. So, and you could just look at that icon and completely get lost in that spiritual world. That's how much can art do to people, to help them to feel the other dimensions. I think it's still difficult to make a living. I think it's never easy to make a living. I think for anybody, I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken, maybe for someone else's. But especially, it's a good question, because for the artist, because to tell you the truth, what I'm saying, it's for the whole world right now. I mean, it's very difficult, because we pour out, from inside out, a certain amount of energy. And especially when you're an artist and you're so crazy about it, I mean, you have to input yourself, all of your energy into the creative process. So then, but you have to make money before. So like, the common sense, they make kind of like a saying that, well, you know what, you have to make money before you have, because to tell you the truth, the paints are expensive, the canvases are expensive, the all this stuff are expensive in order just to do the art. So what can I tell you? Yes, it was difficult, and but I can't live without art. I would still do art anyway, even in the moon. I sacrificed myself a lot because of this. Art helped me so many times. It's just unbelievable. It's like some kind of greatest energy. If you trust to that energy will take you and love you and hold you and carry you. Coming in this country changed my life a lot. Changed my life, particularly even answering your question, because I think I found God, particularly in this country. Because for me it was a shock to come to this country. Everything was different, besides of language, besides of mentality, besides of culture. Everything was, it was very shock for me. I think it's nice sometimes to have these shock moments in your life in order to reconsider the whole your ideology, the whole your personality, the whole your life, and that's what happened to me. I met a Russian, actually monk, living in Catskills Mountains. So I've been talking to him forth and back for, I guess, for almost 20 years. What for me was interesting to talk to him, because he is a monk, he is a religious person, and I'm an artist. Sometimes we would argue, sometimes we would agree at something, but it all is kind of interconnecting. And every time I would ask to myself, how far I can go as an artist, how deep I can go into the things as an artist, how could I be closer, how could I get closer to God or the higher as an artist, or and how can I see it on his experience shared with me, because he was a strictly religious person, and that's what actually people think the only way to come closer to God. And since I was strongly developed as an artist, and I was so completely committed to art, for me it is as a religion. So I said to myself, really, how far, how close I can come to God with art. I still sometimes talk to the monk, and by the way, he was changing through this conversation, even being a monk, because he would in the beginning he said, well, you know what does your art do? Forget about it, just get off and be, go to become a nun or whatever, because it wouldn't take you so far so good. I mean, in a spiritual way. And well, I was destined to be an artist, so I didn't have any way to give up on it, but I've been learning at the same time. And I think, every time for all these almost 20 years, I think he changed a lot toward to understanding as an artist. I mean, about the artist's art and artistry. And now I think he changed, and now sometimes I would kind of like tease him and say, well, you know what, should I give up and being an artist and just become? He said, no, you have to go on. So I said, well, we've been kind of interacting progressively. That's why artists supposed to work on himself or herself every minute, every second. Every challenge in artist's life is supposed to build him as an artist or her as an artist. Everything works together, all together. The relationship with your neighbors, the relationship with your spouses, with your families, with your children. It's all this package is working to build the artistic inside. And since it is like that, so then reflexes also the whole thing, the whole this package. And since you build yourself through the relationship, through anything in your life, so it builds your artistic personality, and then when you start, it pours out. I mean, through your movements, through your colors. It will be just only out of 200 viewers and visitors. If it would be just only one person who would come over, to my painting and would say, kind of like I know how they do it. They come over and they get frozen and they get just like, standing, not to be able to move anywhere. They got frozen. And I know those kind of people who come over and don't go anywhere. They would just look. Some of those particular viewers, they would stand from one side, then they move. They wouldn't try themselves. They feel that strong, that's so strongly about something which they don't even know. They're not supposed to know right away. I mean, they're not supposed to know right away what is going on. They need to grasp it, to feel it. So then, and even then, they can live with this feeling for a while, and then suddenly, but to change. That's what my purpose, to help people to change as I changed myself for a better. Instead of fighting, instead of hating, instead of hurting each other, let's create, let's do arts, let's love each other. Art is love. Love is art. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Do you remember I was saying, have I told you lately? I love you.